Alright guys, this video has got it's been pissing me off trying to set this up, this little app session up, but I'm exporting a video, and so before I went to go eat, I was like, I want to make this yap video before so I don't forget it. Alright? Damn, this is gonna take a long time to export, bro. Video might drop at like 6, which is crazy. I hate that. Anyways, wow, what a really annoying like part of the process. And then sometimes the storage in my phone just like it varies, and then it messes up the exporting process. It's so annoying, guys. Like editing as a whole is just annoying. It's easy, but it's annoying, bro. It's not easy. It's tedious and annoying. Whatever, bro. I'm just let me move my attention from that. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about Gojo again, right? I think it was two videos ago I talked about Gojo, and we was talking about how he got caught off guard, and so on TikTok it was trending again. This animation by Alan Bauer or something like that. It was trending again, so I guess this guy saw that, and then like he was going through this comment which has 125 replies, and he reacted to me. I mean, he replied to me specifically. It was so ridiculous. From June, if you can see right here, June. But today I just wanted to go over this little thread that we had together. Spoilers, this ends abruptly because I don't reply to him after a certain amount of time because he's just acting dumb. So yeah, we're gonna go through it, and we're gonna talk about what I actually want to talk about, and it's the fact that people think Gojo is like this god, and it's so crazy because I was looking. It's hilarious. I was looking for. I had to like pause my editing process to take these screenshots, right? But I was trying to do it on the PC, and I found like what the initial replies to this was, and this guy who I was replying to at X whatever, this guy said that Gojo is a god. So like that's literally what they think. People think like Gojo's this god who like knows everything, and him dying to Sukuna makes no sense because they think he's a god, right? So we're just gonna go over how flawed that thought process is. Obviously it's flawed, but yeah, let's just go through it, right? All right, so in June I typed this comment. I don't know why I expected a reply. I never got a reply, but I said, he proved Gojo had a way to know that Sukuna had an attack that would cut through his infinity. This is something I've been saying. This is something I said in the video, actually. The video no, how long ago was that, bro? It's maybe been a week. But the Gojo video that I made 2 videos before this one, I said like the reason why Gojo got caught off guard is because he didn't know Sukuna had a way to get through infinity. That's literally just stated, okay? It's a fact. It's stated, right? That's the case, right? And like when people say that there's a problem with it, it's like, okay, now why would Gojo know that Sukuna has a way to get through infinity? Sukuna, like the point is that he didn't know. Gege says that, and everybody else thinks that. We didn't even know that. Like that's the thing. Only Sukuna knew he had a way to get through infinity. Gojo didn't know. Kusakabe didn't know. Gojo didn't know. Kusakabe didn't know. Yuji didn't know. We didn't know. No one knew. It was only Sukuna. All right. So that's the point. And so this guy says he learned to never just put his guard down unless there's no more of a threat at all. Whenever Toji snuck all of them. So going back on that pivotal learning point for Gojo just means that Gege is a terrible writer. So, should I go over what he's saying here, or should we just read what I said in response? I mean, I guess my response is like they work for me. So let's see my response to this, right? So I said. There was no threat. Again, Gojo thought, as well as everyone else, that Sukuna had no other way to get through infinity. If you literally have a force field around you at all times and you know your opponent's arsenal, why wouldn't you enter that mindset? In everyone's mind, Gojo won. Let's actually pull this up. Let's see if I got logged out. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I know why I keep getting logged out, bro. It's it's kind of annoying, bro. But whatever. I have to pull this up because what I said is like 100% facts, backed up by the story, and it's not bad writing. So, Kusakabe says it outright. Gojo says it. Not Gojo says it, but Gojo has the exact same thought process. Everybody has the same thought process. Gojo has regained output for reverse cursing thanks to Black Flash, while Sukuna can't heal, lost Mahoraga, and has sustained enough damage that he can't even fight empty-handed with amplification, with domain amplification. So there's no way he can do any damage to Gojo because he has an infinity up, and he has no other way to fight him other than domain amplification. But look at the state he's in. So he's not about to hit him with hand-to-hand combat. And this entire time, he's been losing in hand-to-hand combat. So everybody thinks he's cooked. So again, there is no threat. He has a force field around him. And I think another thing that people, I feel like, ignorantly choose to ignore is the fact that Gojo didn't give up on fighting Sukuna. Gojo let his guard down in quotations because Sukuna doesn't have a way to get through infinity. Alright? It's not like he just started walking away from Sukuna. He's literally just standing right there. Right? And he's like, oh yeah, I won. Boom. And he died. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he freaking started. He was like, oh yeah, you're cooked. I'm gonna just let you die to your injuries, and just walked away. He didn't stop fighting. He didn't like just turn off his brain. What he saw was a Sukuna who can't get through infinity unless he pulls up close quarters combat, and he let his guard down. Right? So yeah, what I said was 100% right. He said he learned not to let his guard down regardless of infinity against Toji in the fight that literally changed his life. There's zero way that he's going to give up his guard until Sukuna is dead. All right. Oh man, do I say like, bro? Okay, what he's saying here is. Oh yeah, I can explain. Okay, I'll explain what he's saying. Okay. Pibble Lover 230 with a profile picture of a monkey with a shadow of a penis. He is referring to Toji. Toji slicing through infinity. Toji slicing through infinity. Actually, damn. This is gonna be embarrassing because I don't remember the chapter. I'm gonna have to guess it. Okay. Gojo comes back. Toji versus Geto. It's this one. Boom. So he's referring to this, right? This is what he's referring to. And like this line of logic would make sense if the context wasn't just there, and like if we completely ignore context, then yeah, what he's saying right here is just completely facts. Like, yeah, there's zero way for him to go back, like give up on his guard until Sukuna's dead, right? So what did I say in response? I said, oh no. He replied again. And actually, he learned not to let his guard down regardless of infinity 2 separate times. He's talking about this. He's talking about this and this. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. This, like, none of... Again, context is very important here, right? So, these are, according to Pibble Lover 230... These are the two examples of Gojo being caught off guard regardless of infinity. And face value, yeah, sure. But reading context and actually reading the story, no, that's not the case. So which one do I reply to here? Okay, yeah, I replied to this one. So this one I replied to, and I'm like, okay, the second time? What are you talking about? The first was when he got into the barrier and turned off his infinity. This one. And then the second time was when Toji made him think he went for Amanai, but in reality, he was right behind him and then killed him. He's definitely learning a permanent lesson from that. Yes, what he's saying is true, right? He definitely learned a lesson from that, right? He definitely did. I think we all can agree on that. And the lesson he learned was this. He has infinity on all the freaking time. All the time. No matter what. That's the lesson he learned from this. He learned to have infinity on all the time and not tire himself out with reverse curse technique. Because he let down Infinity and Toji pulled up and stabbed him. That's the lesson he learned. So yeah, you're right. He did have a permanent lesson from that. Let me export the next thing. Right? And then which one did I reply to with that? Okay, yeah. I replied to this one. And I said, Gojo didn't let his guard down because of Infinity against Toji. Don't you remember him saying he's not going to let Toji get near him? Toji got to him because Gojo thought he was going after Rika. It had nothing to do with Infinity, which is again true, right? Gojo literally sees Toji pull out Inverted Spear of Heaven and he's like, "Oh, that like you know my curse technique. You know I have a force field around me and you pulled out that weapon and try to get in close. Obviously that's," he says it right here. "Obviously, that's something to get through Infinity, so I'm not letting you get close." He knows about my curse technique. That's why he lay low. He has to have a plan, especially something to do with the curse 2 he just took out. He took out the Inverted Spear of Heaven, and he tried to pull up on him. Close quarters combat. "Is that your treasure?" Referring to Inverted Spear of Heaven. "Too bad you can't get close enough to use it." This completely debunks what he was saying here, right? He was saying that he learned not to let his guard down regardless of Infinity against Toji. It had nothing to do with Infinity. It literally had nothing to do with it, right? Because this fight and this are like two completely different things. Gojo knows Toji has a way to get through Infinity, right? Gojo knows he has a way to. Gojo knows that Toji has a way to go through Infinity. And he acknowledges it. And he says, "I'm not letting you get close to me." He lets his guard down in quotations because he thinks Toji's all the way with Amanai. It has nothing to do with him relying on Infinity. He literally says, "I'm not going to rely on Infinity. I'm not letting you get close to me at all." It's not the same as this, where he doesn't know Sukuna has a way to get through Infinity. And he's literally relying on Infinity. He's like, "Oh, you have no way to get in through Infinity. GG." It's not the same. It's literally the opposite, actually. It's the opposite. So I don't know what he's talking about here, right? So he said, yes, it did. He put his guard down because he thought Toji had no way to get past Infinity. Again, he didn't read the story. I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna cut him some slack. Obviously, some people miss some parts of the dialogue, right? But Gojo says right here, "Is that your treasure? Too bad you can't get close enough to use it." So, yeah. And didn't deem finding his location as the first and most important course of action. He was instead worried about Amanai. Yeah, whatever. Anyways. So, what lesson did he learn from the first one? Doesn't the first one literally work for me? Gojo got stabbed because he turned it off. So he learned to keep it on, which I talked about right here. He learned to keep it on 24/7 and use reverse curse techniques so he doesn't get tired, right? So, yeah, right? And the Rico thing literally has nothing to do with Infinity. Gojo told Toji, "I'm not letting you get near me with that weapon," despite him having Infinity up. So, yeah, just repeating what I said. And he says, he learned to not let his guard down until he can be sure there's no threat in the area. What the hell is he talking about? He made that up. He thought the barrier would stop any threat possible, but he learned otherwise, and that's the reason he learned to make his Infinity automatic, and he let his guard down because he let Toji get near him with the weapon when he thought he went after Amanai. That has nothing to do with Infinity. I didn't say he let his guard. I didn't say he didn't let his guard down. I said that it has nothing to do with Infinity. I mean, he's literally saying it right now. He said he let Toji get near him because of Amanai. He didn't say he let Toji get near him because of Infinity. What? Like, he literally, like, I don't think he realized that. And the first part, again, like, yeah. The first part, like, this has nothing to do with, like, you know what I'm saying? We can completely disregard this. the lesson he learned from here is this. There was no lesson for this. There deadass was no lesson for this. All right, he learned to, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Toji just outsmarted him. You know what I'm saying? And what do I say next? Go reread. Okay, yeah, I replied to that. I'm like, go reread it. Gojo literally says the weapon he has is a way to get through infinity, and tells him he's not going to let him get near it. It's a fact. And he says, regardless, that works better for me because Toji would have never got to him if his guard was up. He literally sensed him even after he let his guard down, so if his guard was up, Toji wouldn't have killed him. Huh? I don't know what he's talking about here. I'm not going to lie. What did I say? What? Okay, hold on. Let me reread what he said. Regardless, that works better for me. Obviously, it doesn't work better for him because what I said, we already established that this is the opposite context of the Sukuna one, so it doesn't work for him, right? But Toji would have never got to him if his guard was up. Again, that doesn't work for you because he knows he has a way to get through infinity, and he thought Toji was gone. This is a different context. He doesn't know Sukuna has a way to get through infinity, and Sukuna's literally in his face. The opposite context, literally the opposite context on every single level. So I don't know what he's talking about here, right? What did I say in response? He replied a second time. He said the next time he fought someone with a way to get past infinity, he didn't let him out of his sight until he knew he was unable to fight anymore. I think he's talking about Miguel. It doesn't matter because, again, the point is, again, I have to say this again. He doesn't know Sukuna has World Cut and Slash. That's the point. Gojo does not know he has World Cut and Slash. He would not let his guard down if he knew he had World Cut and Slash. I don't like, you know what I'm saying, bro? He doesn't know it. And that's the problem. They think he knows it because they think he's a god. He's not. He doesn't know everything in the verse, bro. He can't just look at you and be like, oh, he has World Cut and Slash. No. There is no precedent set. Gojo has in his mind the fact that Mahoraga is the one to get through infinity, not Sukuna. He thinks Sukuna does not have a way to go through infinity. That's what Gege literally says. So I don't know why he keeps saying this. Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know Sukuna has a way to get through infinity. It doesn't work for him. Miguel and Toji aren't the same as Sukuna. Sukuna used his way to get through infinity at the last minute, while Gojo's guard was down. So what do I say? Yeah, I tried to simplify this because he kept replying multiple times, and I was like, do you think Gojo just stopped fighting Sukuna at the end of 235? And do you understand why exactly he let his guard down? Because obviously he doesn't realize that he doesn't know. Pibble Lover doesn't realize that Gojo didn't know he had World Cut and Slash. That's why I asked him, like, do you know why he let down his guard? And this is what Pibble Lover says. Yeah, Gege horribly wrote Gojo putting his guard down as said in the widely known quote that he could have dodged it if he noticed something was unusual. Gege is writing this, by the way. These characters don't actually have their own thoughts. Anyways, yeah, I replied to the other one because, you know, he replied multiple times, but I replied to the other one. And I said, I never said Gojo's guard wasn't down, right? You guys heard me say that earlier, right? The point isn't that Gojo didn't let his guard down. The point is that Gojo let his guard down for another reason that oh crap. Anyways, what was I saying? The point wasn't that Gojo didn't let his guard down. He did. That's how Toji pulled up and killed him. The point is that Gojo let his guard down for another reason than the Sukuna one. There is no precedent set for Gojo to know, oh yeah, I'm not going to let my guard down even though I have a freaking force field all over me that no one can get through unless you have domain amplification. There is no precedent set. Gojo is a regular guy with a lot of power. All right? He isn't omniscient. He doesn't know everything. He's not an all-knowing God. All right? He doesn't know Sukuna has Broken Slash, so obviously he's going to be like, okay, Sukuna has nothing else to get through infinity, so he has his guard down in terms of that. But Gojo was going to finish off Sukuna anyways. All right? That's the point. So I said, anyways, that's what I was saying. I'm going to continue reading this. I never said Gojo's guard wasn't down. I said his guard was down because of Rico, not because he knew Toji couldn't get through his infinity. My point is that the Toji fight isn't the same as the Sukuna fight. He knows Toji has a way to get through infinity. He doesn't know Sukuna has a way to get through infinity. Two completely different contexts. I don't even know what he says back to this, but it has to be some BS. Realistically, Gojo isn't letting his guard down until Sukuna is indefinitely dead. Saying otherwise is just literally misunderstanding the character. He has personal grudges against Sukuna. He's not just going to give up because Sukuna's weak. He made all this up. There's nothing to back anything he said here. Right? He literally, like, he changed. You guys see how he, like, I said, I explained it perfectly to him. And he completely changed it. And he said, I'm misunderstanding Gojo. First off, Gojo has no grudges against Sukuna. I don't even know where he got that from. Right? The guy started glazing him when he died. I don't know where he got that from. But also, like, where, like, guys, he's this entire time he's been saying Gojo isn't going to let his guard down. Bro, I can't even explain it because it's blowing my mind. Like, this sounds like something new. Realistically, okay, show me another time Gojo does this. Show me a reason Gojo is going to think that someone without a way to get through infinity has a way to get through infinity. Do you understand how stupid that sounds, guys? Why would Gojo think someone that he knows has no way to get through infinity has a way to get through infinity? Why would he think that? It makes no sense. It's just human characterization. The only reason why that wouldn't make sense, walk with me now. The only reason why that wouldn't make sense is if Gojo was omniscient and an all-knowing God, but he's not. He's not, okay? He's a regular human. So I think I replied to this one, and I'm like, you're not realizing what I'm saying. He thought Sukuna only had domain amplification to get through infinity. Anything else, there's zero reason for Gojo to know it could get through. It's not like Gojo stopped fighting Sukuna. He just wasn't on guard for a range because from his knowledge, Sukuna doesn't have any other attacks. Mahoraga is gone. What does he say here? Gojo would have realistically, and he says it all over again. Is this the last screenshot? It is the last screenshot. He says it, he basically said the exact same thing again, and I never replied to him again, because whatever. I don't give a fuck anymore. Whoa, my fault, chat. I don't give a crap anymore, though. I don't care. All right, I've explained myself multiple times. What he's saying is just disingenuous, just absolute BS, not backed by the story. He thinks Gojo is an all-knowing, omniscient god. The only reason why it wouldn't make sense is if Gojo was omniscient, but he's not, okay? Sadly, Sukuna had a way to get through infinity. Gojo didn't know he had it. Kusakabe didn't know he had it. Yuji didn't know he had it. We didn't know he had it. No one knew he had it except for Sukuna. And that's the point. So, with that being said, these things still haven't exported. Can you guys imagine? I don't know how long this Yap session has been, but it's been too long. I'm about to go eat. I hope I can drop the video in the next hour and a half at least, bro. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.